Welcome to Stuck, Time to Improv. I'm Mary Scott with Business Riff, and we have advice for startup businesses. And today our very special guest is Jeff Werner from Field Holding. He's an angel investor, and he's going to talk about what investors expect from you startups when you're presenting and asking for money. So welcome, Jeff.
Great, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So if someone is going to be presenting to their friends and family, what should they be prepared to show?
Now, I think at the friends and family level, it starts with a great story, right? Your passion for it and a narrative that says, right, I can see myself in that, or I can see that project coming to life. So it's your ability to present the vision and to convince that you're the one to make it happen. I think friends and family is often about affinity. And true, everyone who's going to write a check wants to see significant returns on that check. But at friends and family, you're really going in with an idea, a passion, maybe some bits and pieces of the plan. Maybe you have a basic plan worked out. Maybe you have some type of mock-up of what you're doing, and you're looking for that early stage funding. So what is it that friends and family latch on to? Fundamentally, it's you and your passion for the mission. All right, a pre-seed round, you up the ante here. It needs a business plan. I was trained in old school. Business plan was, a 60-page, typed document. Now it's a deck. But the idea is it's showing that you've really thought through what you're doing. There's still a lot of unanswered questions, but you've done the research. You've done some legwork. You have maybe some initial interest in your product or service from customers, whoever they may be. You have some type of more than moral support. So maybe some intentions from a potential customer to buy, but that you have a plan and you begin to understand who your customer is and your unique position in the sector. So in the space of what you're selling. If you can begin to define that and begin to define how you're going to ultimately make money and grow value in the company, an angel investor looking to invest in a pre-seed round, will be looking for that kind of continuity, not expecting perfection, but at least knowing that there's a bit of there's a plan that's been worked out.
Okay. And what if you presented your deck and it's Q&A time, and one of the potential investors asks you a question that you don't have an answer to?
I go for honesty is the best policy. The being authentic and saying, I don't know, I think is more refreshing than someone who's trying to tap dance around an answer they don't have. So I don't know. And if you allow me, I will get back to you with the answer.
Great. Yeah, I wanted to get that one in there because it's very important that you're honest with your investors, and you'll get all kinds of trouble.
That's the fundamental of the relationship. To, a little bit aside here, it is a relationship, and the transparency, the honesty, the ability to ask for help from the investors makes for a much stronger opportunity for everyone.
Okay, great. And say we're going into a Series A round. What kind of documentation and things do they need for that?
So in a seed round, you have some initial market validation. You begin to have data. You at least begin to know what your key economic drivers are. And you're showing that there's a customer willing to pay for your product or service at the price that you're charging. It just needs some more time, right? But you already have indications of how to grow this company successfully.
Okay, and you need to be able to present those figures and those charts and graphs.
Yes. Now, some are based on perhaps a year or 2 or 3 of data, but they're still early, so there's still a significant number of assumptions, but they're educated assumptions.
Okay. Is this the point where you might be doing the presentation as a team rather than a solo?
Certainly. That's possible. And that's possible on any of the stages. If you, even better in many ways, because some investors, angel investors, are very careful about investing in the quote unquote solopreneur. So when there's a team, ideally there's complementary skills and knowledge.
Right. Those complementary skill sets are really essential. And the statistics show that companies that have co-founders rather than solos are way more likely to be successful.
So then we go to Series A, right? Now, Series A, that takes some more data. Not perfect data, not everything absolutely scrubbed and ducks in a row, but the business needs to look professionalized. You've figured out what it's going to take to succeed. So you understand the economic drivers, you understand your operational models, you know what it's going to take more, just to add money and add some people, groups of people with reach to help expand the opportunity. But you really work through. So you might think friends, family, pre-seed, seed were like various versions of working out of your garage. The Series A, you've moved into the proverbial office space. And now you know how it's going to work, but you need to add fuel to the tank and it need to add a wider community of talent.
How long does a presentation usually take?
Okay, so when you're pitching, say, angel investors?
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen them as short as 3 minutes. My encouragement for the most part is to avoid those. To me, it's just, they're just not a good use of anyone's time, in my opinion. It just becomes a game show. So other than that, all right, 5 minutes, 8 minutes. The fund that I'm a manager for, we allow for 15 minutes. So there's two things. I guess for the shorter ones, the mission is you're really just trying to get to the next step, like get the next conversation going. Right. And that really is the case in everything, in all of these. But I think for a longer pitch, I personally like that because I think the people you're presenting to are taking more time to really understand if they want to move forward, so that the time is best served. You know, it's better to take an extra 7, 8, 9 minutes at the pitch rather than to move forward into DD, start using hours and realizing it's a mismatch.
Right. And it's almost better to spend the time showing that you've done the research and this is the results of the research. You've done this market study, you've actually created this product, and spending 80% on how wonderful it's going to make the world is not good.
Right. If you can get that across in a minute, maybe.
Yeah, that's the flash opener. We're going to change the world with this.
Yes.
And let me
and it's
show
important.
you. We started here, we looked at this, you know, you kind of have to prove your professionalism.
Right. So you want to embody the passion and get that across. No one's interested in investing in a business that you're not enthused about. But after that, it's got to have an engine under the hood, so to speak.
Right. Well, that's really great. I appreciate all this fabulous knowledge of behind the scenes of investing and what's expected from presenters. Certainly for the series rounds, you're in a big conference room with people in suits and lawyers, folks.
Well, even before you get there, actually the Series A, because I'm a member of a couple of funds and I've seen a little bit, and you know, I think it's still kind of very wholesome. It's a marriage of a sort, right? Both are kind of checking each other out. So I still think it's friendlier than the stereotype might appear. I mean, there is the serious side of the investment, but most, not all, of my experiences in this are friendly in spirit.
Right. Well, you want to do business with people you know, like, and trust.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much, Jeff Werner. This has been absolutely enlightening into the mind of the investor. And I'm Mary Scott with Business Riff. I help startups engage new markets and connect with custom resources with my business concierge consulting services. So join us again for Stuck, Time to Improv.